Hello, everybody. This is Lady T. I'm on here with you guys. Just wanted to come on here so I can give you guys an introduction on who I am, what I'm about. I have my son here. He's going to be interviewing me. I'm out here in South Central LA. Nice sunny day. And hey, we're just going to take it from there. So he's here, like I said, and he got some questions. It's going to give you an introduction on who I am, what Lady T is all about, and we're going to take it from there. So, okay, son, when you ready, come on, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's do this.
All right, the first question I got for you is, what was it like growing up in LA?
Okay.
What year were you born? And,
Talk up loud because they probably can't hear you. Talk up a little bit loud. Wait.
I was gonna say, I said, what was it like growing up in LA?
What was it like growing up in LA? Well, I grew up in the 1970s. First of all, let me start by saying this much. I was born in 1969, August, so I'm a Leo baby. And I was born in 1969 at Queen of Angels Hospital. And, you know, that gives you a pretty good idea how old I am. But at the end of the day, let's get back to the question. What was life like growing up in LA?
Yeah.
It was layered. It was cool. It was, you know, you learn quick. Back then, during that time, you know, the streets wasn't like it is now. So you learned a lot, you heard a lot, and you grew up pretty fast. That's what life was like for me growing up in LA. I seen a lot, you know. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot, put it that way. I mean, don't nothing faze me, you know.
Yeah.
Being out here on these LA streets, I've seen a lot, you know. Plus, you know, I had a brother who was affiliated. So, with that being said, I grew up in a gang bang neighborhood, and I had a brother who was affiliated. So, with that, I seen a lot, and I learned a lot. So, you know, it was different. It wasn't like it is now, but at the end of the day, that's what life was like for me growing up. It was fun, you know. It was fun. It was different times, you know. You go outside, you can play, you can go up down the street, you can ride your bike. You had your friends in the neighborhood that you played with. Shit, it was nothing but big wheels, peppermint stick and pickles and hula hoops, and that's what it was like. Shit, as long as you was in the house before the motherfucking street lights came on, it was all to the good. So that's what it was like.
Okay. Well, the second question I got here for you is, growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, what's changed the most? Like, what's changed?
Growing up in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, what changed? Whew, a lot. Back in the 70s, like I said, it was different. It wasn't like is now. You know, you had people that back then guided you the right way. Now, sometimes you still got that. But then, you know, as time went on, you got people that'll guide you in the wrong way. The 70s was fun, old school music, getting up on Saturday mornings, cleaning the house, Soul Train on. You know, we wasn't allowed to watch Soul Train until all our chores was done. But we made sure to get that shit done before Soul Train come on, because Soul Train was like the big thing, you know, on Saturday morning. You know, you want to get up, clean the house, make sure all your chores is done, watch Soul Train, so that when Soul Train go off, you can leave and go hang out with your friends, you know. So all of our stuff had to be done before that. The 80s, the 80s, by that time, shit, I was in Catholic school. So, you know, yeah, I was in Catholic school during the 80s. So it was different. I had a different type of vibe going on. Because basically all day I spent at a Catholic school with nuns and stuff. And they had their own protocol in the way they, you know, handled curriculum. So I, you know, got my education on a different sector. Not public, but it was more stricter and it was private. And like I said, those nuns didn't play. By the time I left there, I went from there and went back. I went to public school from Catholic school. So I spent 8 years in Catholic school under Catholic education. Then after I left Catholic school, I went to public school. And that's only because at that time, you know, in order to go to Catholic high school, you had to pay tuition. First of all, let's get that clear. And my mama at the time was sort of having it rough because she was in, you know, wasn't at work for a minute. She had to go off on sick leave. So money was funny and she couldn't afford the tuition. So that's the only reason why I didn't get a chance to go to Catholic school, high school. But a lot of my friends went to Catholic high school. You know, some went to St. Bernard's. I think 2 of my friends went to St. Bernard's. I had another couple of friends went to St. Mary's. And the boys, you know, a lot of them went on to Daniel Freeman or Verbin Day or Sarah. So, yeah. And then by the time the 90s came, shit, hell, I was pretty much on my way. In high school, I went to Crenshaw High. That's where I ended up, in Crenshaw High School, because I went through Valley School Systems, you know. And then the last school I ended up in was Crenshaw High. So graduated from there. I was having kids. I started having my daughter, you know, as soon as my last year, Crenshaw High School, and that was it. So, shit, what was your question? What was the question? I think it was like,
what's changed the most?
What's changed the most? Shit, life. Life. Shit, we older now, but basically, like I said, the school systems, let's take that. I'm gonna take that, the school systems. The shit that the kids doing nowadays in school, we couldn't do that shit in high school. A lot didn't change. Shit, we didn't have the internet. Wasn't no Twitter, wasn't no TikTok, wasn't no Instagram, all that shit, no Facebook. So everything we did it naturally. Everything was natural shit, you know. So that's one thing that was different. How these niggas move now is different, you know. Wasn't no such thing as, what you call that, smash and grabs and shit. Wasn't nobody running up into no stores snatching shit, running out back then, no. You know, that didn't change, you know. Gangs and got a little bit more elaborate, a little bit, you know, from what I could remember. That's sort of different. And that's probably about all I can say on that one, that question there. And I can think of.
So what would you say, what's been lost? What was lost?
Like, what you mean?
Like, what do you think what things do you feel that you lost growing up?
What I lost? Shit, what did I lose? The only thing I can say. What you mean, like things that I've lost? Repeat that question one more time, so I'll make sure. What have I lost from growing up, or what have I lost?
Like growing up, like what's been lost from then?
Shit. Only thing I can say is,
you lose friends?
Well, yeah, I have lost some people I've known, some people I ain't, you know, been able to get in contact with. Yeah. Yes. shit, a friend of mine, one of my friends, Leslie Ham from elementary school. I always wonder what happened to her. I haven't seen her. She was a friend of mine in elementary school. Who else? Shit. Three of my best friends. You know, everybody doing their own shit now. So I don't see them as much as I want to. I try to keep in contact with them as much as I want to, but that's still a loss. You know, stuff like that. But nothing major. But do you mean like people I've lost, like people that have probably passed on? Or, yeah, I lost my mom. My mom is gone. It's a lot of people's gone. Man, the only thing I can say is there's so many people that gone. Shit. When I got with my kids, my older kids, when I got with their father, you know, I was young and he was young. But the only thing I can say is I became close with his family. I became sort of close with his family, so I took his family on as my family, sort of. So a lot of people in his family I consider my family, and a lot of those people aren't here anymore, like his sister, his uncles, stuff like that. So they're no longer here. One of his cousins I became close with. Rest in peace, Bo baby, Diane. Her name was Diane. She not here anymore. That's a loss, because me and her became real close. Shit, it's a lot of people gone. Shit, I had a high school crush that I used to had a crush on. Matter of fact, he was my first crush. He's gone. Shit, that's about it. That's a loss.
Yeah.
Right there.
What would you say is better now? Like, what's better now?
As opposed to then?
Yes.
Nothing. Nothing. Shit.
And why is that?
Everything was better back then. Everything was better now. This shit is bullshit. This shit out here is bullshit. A lot of this shit is bullshit. Everything, the food you eat, everything is fucked up. So, but back then things were different. Quite naturally, you know, it was different. Shit, my mom used to take us up here to Slauson. It used to be a store up there called Zodi's. And she used to take me and my brother up there, and that's where I got my first pair of Crocker Sacks. Crocker Sacks was these shoes we would wear back in the day, and then we used to wear them with our Levi jeans, and we used to put motherfucking tacks at the bottom of them, so when you walk, your shoes go tack, 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 tack. That was the shit. You know, shit. Yeah, everything is fucked up now, you know. Ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. The only thing better is your life that you have with your kids. That's the only thing I can say is better. Is the life that I have now with my children. You know, and the family members that want to be family. Because we're going to get into that on the next interview. We're going to get into family and that shit on the next interview, because I got a lot to say about that shit.
Well, the third question we got for you is, what was family life like for you?
What was family life like for me? Shit, coming up, you want to get down to the real nitty gritty?
Yeah.
Shit. Dysfunctional. It was dysfunctional. It was some good times, but then it was a lot of dysfunction. It was only me and my brother in the house and my mom. So we grew up in a single parent household. His father was it in his life, and shit, what I thought was my father, that motherfucker really wasn't my father, but he wasn't in my life anyway, so I guess that really didn't make a difference. But we'll get on that one in another interview too. But it was dysfunctional. You know, it's a lot of dysfunction and shit. It's a lot of dysfunction. And what I mean by that, a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, distance, really no good communication. So a lot of this shit that I went through as a kid, a lot of, like I said, when I got with my kid's father, the first set, a lot of his family members I took on as my family members. I was, shit, to be honest with you, I think I was more close with them than my real family. You know, to a sense, because I did have cousins I was close with. My very best cousin in the whole wide world, me and him, you know, we done reconnected over these last years or so, and we became sort of close, you know, because we used to be tighter than thieves when we was little. That was my only shit friend, cousin, ride or die. It was him. But then later on in life, he went on and went to the military. I started having children, so I didn't really get a chance to see him, you know, like that. Then when he came back, we didn't get a chance to reconnect like that, because by that time I was in Indiana. So I spent 21 years there, and he was out here on the West Coast, but I still didn't really get a chance to connect with him like I really wanted to. But that's my best cousin, and yeah.
So did you have any support systems growing up?
Nope. Nope. You know, my mom did the best that she could do. You know, I'm not going to fault her for anything, but she did the best that she could do. I'm pretty sure she did. I know she did. I'm not faulting her. But you can only teach your children what you know. You can only do what you know that you can do. If it's not in you or you don't have it, then how can you teach your child? A lot of shit that I learned on the streets. I learned from word of mouth, or I educated myself, or I just learned through hard knocks shit. So, no, support system shit. I done had that. I wanted to be an actress when I was little. I wanted to, be an actress. That's all I did was look at TV and watch people on TV and sit there in front of the TV and want to do what they... Hell, I wanted to be the next Shirley Temple. That's how deep it was for me. I just knew I could be the black Shirley Temple and shit. But, you know, and I wanted to go into acting, but I didn't have that support. And I think if I would have had that support, shit, I'd probably be famous as a motherfucker now. Because I already know it's in me, but I didn't have a support system back then. You know, shit, I just didn't have it. Hell, the only thing my mama told me was don't go out there and have sex, don't get pregnant. That was it. The fuck that mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's all she knew to tell me. That's all I knew. So that goes to show you right there what type of support system I had. But like I said, I can't fault her, because she can only have done what she could do, which I think she did a pretty good job. But when it comes to certain stuff like support, communication, it just wasn't there. I had to learn that another way. And I learned that through being up under my aunt, which was my mom's sister, who, you know, rest in peace to her, my Aunt Margie. She instilled a lot in me. I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot of things from her that got me through life. I learned a lot, you know. And she was one of the ones that, she was a supporter in a way. To a certain extent, she was a supporter. So that's why I learned a lot of things from her, you know. That's it.
Did you have any friends growing up?
Yeah. I had two best friends, Monique and Patricia. And then later on in high school, I had some other friends. I had Aquanetta, And I had later on I had Bernadette. It was my best friend. I still consider her my best friend. I don't talk to Aquiletta as much as that, but I know she living her life. I'm living mine. I'm just, a phone call. She just a phone call. But people go through stuff. But we always seem to connect back up. But she'll always be my friend.
Yeah. Okay, the next question we got for you. What schools did you attend, and what do you remember most about those years?
What schools did I attend? I attended. That ain't even the goddamn word. I went to St. Bernadette. Okay, let's go back. The first school I ever went to was a preschool on Vernon and 4th Avenue. It's a preschool. And after I went to the preschool, I went to elementary school, and my mom put me in 59th Street School. I don't know what's taking place. I went to 59th Street School, and I went there for a little while, and then after I went to 59th Street School, that's when my mama put me in the first. I was leaving the first grade, going into the second grade, and I went to no matter of fact, I was leaving kindergarten, going to the first grade, and my mama put me in Catholic school, St. Bernadette. It's up there in Baldwin Hills, and I went there all the way up to the 8th grade. After I left St. Bernadette, I went to Webster Middle School. From Webster Middle School, I went to Horseman. And I went to Horseman for some time until I finished there. And then that's when I went to high school. And then I went to, the first high school I went to after Horseman was, I think it was Monroe. I went to Monroe because that's when they shipped me out to the Valley School. I went to Monroe. And then after I left Monroe, I went to not Monroe, it was Chatsworth. And then I went to Taft. I went to Reseda for a minute. I went to Cleveland. And Cleveland was the last motherfucking stop. Because I kept getting put out of all these motherfucking high schools in the Valley school system. Then they sent the letter and said, told my mama, her ass can't come back to the Valley school system. So I got kicked out the Valley school system. And then I went to Crenshaw High School. And then that was it for me. After Crenshaw High School, I finished up there. And then graduated, got my diploma. And those are the schools I went to.
All right. It says here you became a mother in your early 20s. What was that like? Was it hard?
Becoming a mother in your early 20s. Well, it was hard. It was hard. I didn't realize how hard it was gonna be. Like I said, I can only know what was taught to me. I learned the hard way, or I learned it through word of mouth.
Yeah.
School of Hard Knocks. Got with my kid's father at that time. He was young, I was young. Started having kids. I had my first daughter in 89. I had my second son in 90. I had my first son in 90. Then after I had him, I had my other son in 92. Then I had, yeah, that was the 20s, yeah. So I had the first set in my 20s. Yeah, then later on came you, Keenan, and then later on came the other two.
Okay. Well, the next question we got for you is
But wait a minute, let me go back, because you had said, what was it like having kids in my 20s?
Yeah.
It was fucked up in a way, because it was happy. I was happy to have my babies, don't get me wrong. I was happy being a mother. I was happy. But it was hard for me because they daddy didn't want to do shit. You know, he still wanted to go out there and sow his wild oats and shit. And I don't fault him because, like I said, we both was young. We didn't know what the hell we was doing. That's why I say a lot of young people go have kids and you don't really know what you do. You ain't built for this type of shit, right? Like that.
Yeah.
If you ain't, and look, if you go out there having kids and you ain't ready, that's the worst thing you can ever do. Get yourself prepared first for life. Go to school, get you an education. Do what makes you happy. At the same time, get your education, get something up under your belt. Whether it's a certification that's going to carry you through life and get you a decent life. But most important, get you some education first. You know, a lot of them want to go out here and lay down and they see a cute girl or they see a cute boy and, oh, you know, it's all peaches and cream and that's bullshit. Look, get you an education first. That shit going to come later. Don't worry about all that. That's going to come later. You know, I thought this nigga was the moon and the stars and all that shit, you know. Yeah. And motherfucker had a motherfucking Jerry curl and shit. I should have knew that shit was suspect. That nigga had on some motherfucking karates and shit when I met him. And I was like, but I don't know. I don't know what attracted me. I think the motherfucking drippy ass Jerry curl attracted me more than anything else because the show was in the motherfucking karate shoes. And shit, my friends clowned me for days on that shit. She was like, that nigga got on some karates. I was like, yeah, but yeah, he cute though. But that's bullshit. But anyway, like I said, I learned the hard way at that age. But I took care of my kids. I had my babies. I took care of them. And then plus my mama, you know, she was like, I ain't gonna be, you know, doing that and the other. So she said, you keep on having them, you're going to have to take care of them. And that's what I did. Because she wasn't going to do shit like that. She wasn't one of them grandmamas, you know. I better not talk about leaving out the door and leaving the baby there. Shit. So that's what that was.
Well, the next question I got for you is, you've been driving buses for 19 years. In school buses. How did it start?
Oh, shit. South Central LA. Like I said, I was having kids. I was young. The nigga wasn't doing shit. Money was funny. I was on the county. And back then, they wasn't giving you shit. They ain't giving you shit as is, but they wasn't giving you nothing. And like I said, I was stuck with the kids. The nigga was gone, quite naturally, in the wind. Went on with some other broad, and I was stuck taking care of my baby. So I'm going to tell you how it happened. So one day, I was on my way to the county building to go drop off some papers or something to that nature. And it was that county building. And if you from LA, they used to have a county building on the borderline of Inglewood and LA. It sat right there off of West Boulevard, off of Florence. There was a county building there. People thinking that if you could look at it today, you'll never know it was a county building there, but it was once a county building there, but it's some apartments there now. But back then, what had happened was, like I said, I went there to take some papers to get filled out or signed or some shit. Yeah. So they had a big ass school bus in front of the county building. I'm like, what the fuck going on here? But anyway, I was just going in my business. So they had recruiters who was trying to recruit people to come drive school buses. And the guy walked up to me. I was about 6 months. I was about 6, almost 7 months pregnant. No, I was 7 months pregnant with my first child. Like I said, I had her. The nigga wasn't doing right. Whatever. Still up there talking about, I love him now. But anyway, so I go to the county building. I'm walking up in there. And see the school bus. The guy walk up to me and say, how would you like to drive a school bus? And I say, I can't drive no school bus. I can drive this big old bus. How am I going to drive the bus? He was like, we trained you. And I was like, I'm looking at him like, train? So he was like, yeah. And then he was like, so let me ask you a question. He was like, how would you like to work with children and you get the weekends off and you get paid good and we train you? And then I was like, I don't know. So he gave me the paper, so I started to walk inside. And as I'm walking inside, what caught my attention, he said, and we'll pay you for training.
Mm.
And I did the pay you. And then he said, yeah, we pay you for training. He said the training is 5 days a week from this time to that time. I said, well, I'm pregnant. I can't. He said, well, I tell you what, take this paper. My name is whatever his name was at the time. He said, take this paper, call, get signed up for the class. He said, and all you have to do is go to one orientation. And when you go to that one orientation, you just explain to them your situation. And when you have the baby and everything like that, and you ready to come back, all you got to do is just start the classes. And that's how I started. And at that time, when I started driving the school buses, I went through the course. They did pay us for training. And it was $9 and some change. I can't remember for training, but then when you come out of training, it goes up to 10 something an hour. Yeah, at that time. So that's how it was, and then from there on, it was then up the hill. From there on.
The next question we got is, what was your job really like? Like, what was your experience driving for buses, school buses, and public transportation?
What was the what?
What was your experience like?
Driving school buses?
Yes.
I learned a lot, especially about the school buses. I mean, how to deal with the children, how to do your route, how to pick your route, how to deal with the parents. You learn patience. You learn patience and lots of it. That's for sure. You got to have a lot of patience to drive school buses. If you don't have patience, then don't get behind it. Don't even attempt to even try to go down there for an interview, orientation. Because if you don't have the patience, there's no way you can drive a bus, especially a school bus when you got a 36 or more yelling children on there and try to drive in traffic. It's not going to work. So I learned patience. I learned determination, and I learned how to be consistent, and I learned how to be on time. That's another thing it taught me, how to be on time. Yeah. So I learned that, and that's why I guess to this day I have a stickler for being on time. So that's what I learned with that.
Okay. Well, the next question we got for you is, what saved you from the struggles of LA life?
What saved me from the struggles of LA life? Common sense. Common sense. You can't be in LA and don't have no common sense and think you're going to survive out here, because you're not. These damn mosquitoes, I'm sorry. Don't think you're going to try to survive LA life and if you don't have common sense, you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble, especially out here or anywhere, period. Not only in LA, but especially out here, you have to have common sense. You got to have common sense. You're going to learn that real quick, but you got to have common sense. You got to know who to fuck with, who not to fuck with. You got to know where to go, where not to go. You got to know how to be, diligent in the way you move out here. You just can't go anywhere. That's just how it is out here. You just can't go in any neighborhood. I'm talking like if you were a young black male or you a young black woman or Mexican, whoever you are,
Yeah.
Because sometimes they got people that just fuck with you for no reason. But then again, it's all dependent on, like I said, how you move. You know, they got some people that are, you know, they walk around like, how can I say it? They want to be the shit. They want to walk around like, I got this, I got this. No, you don't got that, because you get approached by the wrong person, or you trying to act like you Billy Badass and all that bullshit. It's not going to work out here. This is the land of the jungles. That's why I can't, since you brought that question up, that's why I can't understand for the life of me. I was looking at that, what's that, Krishan Rock situation when she took her ass over there in Compton. I don't know who that girl have on her team, or who pushed her to do that. I don't know if she pushed herself to do that, but somebody on her team should have told her not to even do that. Because that girl could have went out there and really lost her life. That's one place over here on the West Coast that you don't go fucking around in, and that's Compton, because that's just one of them places. I can't even explain it. If anybody know anything about Compton, that's one place you don't go just, oh, I'm just gonna be over here and fuck with motherfuckers. And that was the mentality of that. I don't think the girl went over there with the intention of fucking with somebody, but you went over there.
Yeah.
Period. Because you already knew the situation before you went over there. That's what I'm saying. That's the only way I can say it. You can't just do that here. Like when I lived in Indiana, it was different because it was a different mentality there. They wasn't all about the colors and the this and the that. They don't do that out there. They have what's called cliques. But they don't do the gangbang thing. It's different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just can't move like that out here. I'm just glad that she got out safe. I'm glad that the girl wasn't hurt. But at the end of the day, I think that was a stupid move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have went there messing with the people over there, messing with those people, trying to prove a point,
Yeah.
I would have, I'm sorry, I just would have took my slap and got the fuck on. Put it that way. I mean, sometimes you just have to be humble. You have to humble yourself. I mean, it is better than losing your life because you're trying to prove a point. But that's just the way I look at it,
Well, our next question is about family and gang influence. How did your brother joining a gang affect you?
When my brother joined, I wasn't, at the time my brother joined, I wasn't thinking like, too much of anything. Like, okay, let me put it this way. When my brother joined a gang, and it's gonna trip my viewers out, it may or may not. I grew up in a blood neighborhood. That's where I grew up at. I grew up in a blood neighborhood, and my brother was a Crip. Okay? Now, this is the kicker. Back during that time, the people in the neighborhood were Bloods, but everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
We went to school. My brother he was older than me, but he went to school with the same ones that was in the neighborhood, so they knew each other.
Yeah.
Before the gang bang happened, they were friends first. As they gotten older, then the gangs, they joined the gangs and the friendship sort of.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck with you because we know who you are. You cool, but we know what you do. that type of. But it wasn't no retaliation. They didn't fuck with us, but they knew who he was. They knew where he was from, and that's just how it is. He had one of them that he seemed to always click heads with, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna kill you or you gonna like that.
Yeah.
They just fought or had like little words, but they just it was different. It ain't nothing like it is now. It ain't nothing like today. But that's how it was. But how it influenced me was I didn't think my brother could ever get. Me personally, I never at that time when I knew he was doing it, I didn't look at it like, oh, he could go out there and get hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it like, oh, this could happen to us because this is who he is and this is what he doing.
Yeah.
He would come home and tell me different things that happened when he was in it and the activity of it. But it never affected me because I guess I was a naive person. At the time, I was young and naive and didn't know no better.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got older and I was like, oh, shit, we could have died. Oh, damn, that could have happened. Oh, shit, I didn't realize how lucky I was, like that. But I never joined. I could have, but I never did.
Yeah.
It was just something about it that just I didn't think I wanted to. That's the part that I wanted to do. Yeah, but it affected me to the point to where I thought he was Superman. I thought my brother couldn't get hurt, go out there. I thought he was, hey, he could save everybody, shit. I thought my brother is from, so, but shit. And that's how it was. It didn't affect me mentally.
Yeah.
It didn't really do anything. I just pray that he was able to overcome it and get out of it and not get hurt or lose his life.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Okay. Our last question for today is it's about motherhood. What was it like raising 7 children alone? And what advice do you have for young women today?
Oh shit. 7 of y'all, ain't it? Okay, so first of all, let me start by saying it's 7 of y'all. So I got Saida, Shondell, Tyshawn, Keenan, you, Chris, Tamara, and Tiara. Okay, so it's 7, and y'all all different ages.
Yeah.
The last one is about to be 18 in February. So how was it? It was tough. It was tough, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was tough. Raising 7 kids by myself. Many days we went without. Many days I went without. Just so y'all can have.
Yeah.
It was a lot of uncomfortable situations. A lot of things I had to do, when I was working. I used to be the one out there on the buses all day. Just to make sure y'all had, I was out there all day. I would get up in the morning, go do my route. Yeah. I was one of them bus drivers who, I'll take that afternoon route. I'll take that route. I'll take that field trip. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll take that after school activity. Be mad if they didn't. I'll be mad if they didn't add an activity to my route. Because I knew that was money,
Yeah.
And I knew how much I wanted my check to be. But raising y'all it was tough. We went through falls, we went through ups, we went through downs.
Yeah.
And when you raising kids by yourself, as a black mother, especially 7, it's rough. But I made it through with the grace of God. Look at me now. You know, I'm still here. I'm still standing. Y'all grown. You know, shit. They got families of y'all own. Some of my kids, you know, and yeah, but I made it through. It was rough, you know, with no help and stuff. That's why I say, the advice I can give young girls or any woman young or coming up talking about having kids, this is the advice that I would give you. Make sure you get your education first. Get you an education first. Get you a career. Make sure you got some money in the bank. Make sure you got you a savings. Make sure you got your business straight. You make sure you got your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And always educate yourself. Keep educating yourself first. Think about yourself first before you think about a nigga. Think about yourself first before you think about what a nigga is doing. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. The man, he's going to get his. He going to get his. But I'm going to tell you, he going to get his shit first. But you make sure you got yours before you talk about getting in a relationship and this, that, and the other. Because all that's going to come in due time. But get yourself together first. Make sure that you got something going on first. Then, when it's time for you to meet somebody, you make sure that he got himself together too. Make sure he's trying to do something with himself. Make sure he's about something. And don't go out there trying to find a man. That's the worst thing you can ever do. Because when you go out there looking, you're going to find something that you don't want. At least that's what my grandma used to say. You don't go looking. You let God bring you whoever is meant to be for you. Because when you go looking, that's when you're going to find something that you're going to regret. If somebody out there for you, God going to bring that person to you. And you may not even know that's who you're supposed to be with. It's going to happen so naturally, you know. And make sure that, and I tell this, make sure that when you meet somebody, and this is my Lady T's secret weapon, you meet his family. When you meet him, meet the family first. Before you commit to anything, you see what his family life is about.
Yeah.
See what's going on with his family, because when you meet the family, that's gonna tell you who the fuck what he about. Because you go out there meeting, and that go for the dudes too. I ain't talking only to the women. I'm talking to the dudes too. Because they got some young men out here who get with these girls and don't know what the hell they get. And next thing you know, they say, oh shit, why the hell I got with that bro? Oh shit. You know what? Same thing I'm telling to the girls, I'm telling to the men. Know who you laying down, know who you getting with. Fucker lay down. For you been lay down with the motherfucker. You want to what you call that? Interview. And if he say what, or if he or she say, well, you sound like you interviewing me, you motherfucking right, I'm interviewing you. Because this is an interview. We're in the interview era now. Fuck all that old lovey-dovey bullshit, run off into the sunset type shit. No, I'm interviewing your ass. I'm asking your ass $50,000 questions until I'm motherfucking satisfied with what the hell is going on. I want to see what's going on. I want to see the family. I want to see the cousin, the sister, the uncle, the brother, the grandma. I want to see all y'all motherfuckers, because that's going to give you an insight to who you messing with. Because if you walk up into the family life and the family is wild and crazy and buck wild, that's how the fuck he is. But the nigga just probably trying to hide it low key, or she trying to hide it low key because she don't want to know she don't want you to think that, or he or she don't want you to think that they crazy. Yeah. So you look at the family, you looking at that person, because the apple don't fall far from the motherfucking tree. Put it that way. So that's the only thing I can tell these young girls. Don't rush into anything. Take time. Enjoy yourself. Get to know what life is all about. If you can travel, do it. If you can travel and go see different parts of the world, do that first. Before you talk about getting involved with somebody, like seriously. And if he rushing you or she rushing you, think twice. because they shouldn't be rushing you. Should nobody rush you to be in a relationship with them. If they trying to rush you into certain things, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say on that one.
Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the last question. That's the last of the questions we got for you today, Miss T.
Okay. And so that's it. Now my son, he done completed his interview. I hope it was a good interview. This thing gave y'all a life, into who Lady T is. I know y'all be seeing me a lot. I might hearing me a lot on TikTok, but now you get to see my face. And this is who I am. This is what I'm about. So now you know. And he'll be interviewing me again later on. We'll get into some more deep stuff. And that's it. That's it all for right now. Anything else? You got a bonus question for me?
No, that's it.
Bonus question, take. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today, y'all. And I'll see you guys later. And remember, if it ain't deep, the shit ain't real. See y'all later.